All right, welcome everyone. I need to do a little stretching apparently. Okay, welcome. We are doing our final Greek god for this segment. We're talking about Hermes. Hermes' origins are fascinating and deeply rooted, as all Greek gods are, in ancient mythology. He was born to Zeus, the king of the gods, and Maia, one of the Pleiades, and a daughter of the Titan Atlas. According to legend, Hermes was born in a cave on Mount Cyllene in Arcadia. His birth was shrouded in mystery and marked by signs of his future trickery and ingenuity. From the very first day of his life, Hermes displayed his cunning nature. As an infant, he sneaked out of his cradle, ventured out, and stole Apollo's cattle, cleverly disguising his tracks. This early act of mischief set the tone for his role as a trickster god. And, I don't think that aspect of him is talked about a whole lot. He's always considered like the messenger of the gods and never spoken of being actual, like a trickster. How did Hermes appear? Do you care? I don't know, but we're going to talk about it anyway. So Hermes is typically depicted as a youthful, handsome figure, has a graceful athletic build, and his iconography includes the iconic winged sandals known as talaria, which grant him unparalleled speed. He also wears a winged helmet, symbolizing his role as a messenger and his ability to move freely between worlds. In many artistic representations, Hermes carries the Caduceus, a staff with two intertwined snakes and wings at the top. This staff is often confused with the rod of Asclepius, a symbol of medicine, but the Caduceus is uniquely associated with Hermes. These symbols emphasize his dual role as both a messenger and a guide for souls to the underworld. So this guy has a lot of jobs, and he likes to play pranks on top of it. Hermes serves multiple purposes within Greek mythology. As the messenger of the gods, he delivers important messages and instructions from Zeus to other deities and mortals. His speed and agility make him the ideal intermediary. And additionally, he acts as a psychopomp, guiding souls to the underworld and ensuring their safe passage. This role highlights his connection to both life and death. And while Hermes is also the protector of travelers, merchants, and athletes, he is the patron of commerce and trade, overseeing transactions and ensuring their exchanges. His association with thievery and cunning further underscore his multifaceted nature, as he embodies both the noble and roguish aspects of humanity. If you play D&D, tell me why my husband loves this guy. Guess in the comments. Why does my husband love Hermes? I believe he's his favorite Greek god. See if you can guess. So Hermes, his personality is captivating, a blend of wit, charm, and mischief. He is known for his cleverness and resourcefulness, often using his intellect to outsmart others. Tell me why my husband loves this character. As a trickster god, he enjoys playing pranks and devising elaborate schemes. Despite his mischievous nature, Hermes is also depicted as helpful and benevolent. He often comes to the aid of other gods and mortals in need, using his quick thinking to resolve conflicts and provide guidance. His dual nature makes him a relatable and endearing figure, capable of both creating and solving problems. Now, Hermes has a number of powers and attributes. So, obviously, speed and agility. Thanks to his winged sandals, he can move really quickly between mortal and divine realms, and this allows him to deliver his messages and guide souls with unparalleled efficiency. Invisibility is another one that Hermes has. He has this cloak, which grants him the power of invisibility, kind of like the Harry Potter one. But it also enables him to move unseen to perform covert tasks or other things. He's also the messenger of the gods, so he's got really good communication skills. He has both verbal and nonverbal abilities, and his eloquence and persuasive abilities make him a master of diplomacy. See, these aren't things in the depictions of him in modern media. Everyone always focuses on him being a messenger, but he is so much more than that. Hermes' role as a guide also extends beyond leading souls to the underworld. He offers protection and guidance to travelers, ensuring their safe journeys. So if I were subscribed to the Greek pantheon, I would ask him to watch over my husband and I as we travel out of the country. I'm really excited, but also a little nervous. For his symbolism, we have the Caduceus, which we talked about, his winged sandals, of course, which I believe inspired the little check mark on the Nike shoe, his winged helmet, and then he's also associated with the tortoise. It's Hermes invented a lyre out of a tortoiseshell, and this just highlights his creativity and musical talent. Why does my husband love this guy? There's a lot of reasons. So you could probably make a guess and be right on some level. So aside from being a messenger, a guide of souls and travelers, Hermes is also the patron of commerce and trade. He oversees it, promotes it. He wants fair economic exchange. And of course, he's the god of thievery and trickery. Like, he's got all these titles, but it says he is god of this thing that nobody talks about. For his worship, he was widely worshipped across ancient Greece, with numerous temples and altars dedicated to him, and he was particularly revered by travelers, merchants, and athletes who sought his protection and favor. Rituals and offerings to Hermes often included libations of wine, honey, and olive oil, as well as sacrifices of animals such as goats and sheep. His festival, such as the Hermea, celebrated his various roles and attributes with athletic competitions and other activities in his honor. I'm so glad we're ending with Hermes for this little cutout. Hera just made me sad. Now, in modern times, Hermes still has some worship. Obviously, as we discussed previously, Greek mythology and the pantheon is not as a prominent religion as it once was, but there are still people who really believe and keep it in their lives. And for him, he is an important figure in neo-pagan and Hellenic religions. Devotees honor him with offerings and prayers, seeking his guidance and protection in various aspects of life. And Hermes' attributes and symbols remain relevant, and his stories continue to inspire those who seek a deeper connection with ancient mythology. In art, Hermes has been a prominent subject throughout history. In ancient Greece, he was depicted on pottery, sculptures, and frescoes, often shown with his winged sandals and helmet. These artistic representations captured his dynamic and multifaceted nature. During the Renaissance, artists like Botticelli and Raphael featured Hermes in their works, emphasizing his role as a messenger and his association with elegance and speed in contemporary arts. And in today's art, he continues to be a source of inspiration, with modern interpretations exploring his themes of communication, travel, and transformation. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that his shoes are why there's a little dash thingy on the Nike shoe, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is. In pop culture, Hermes has a lasting presence. He appears in literature, movies, and TV shows, often depicted as a clever and swift messenger. Notable appearances include Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson series, where he is portrayed as the god of communication, travel, and thieves. Hermes is also featured in films like Hercules, and there are various adaptations of him throughout Greek mythology, showcasing his enduring appeal and relevance. Now, there's not a whole lot of extra stuff on Hermes. He's pretty straightforward. So we are doing this in one video. Welcome to part 2, story time. So we have a couple of stories, including Hermes. And the first one is us going back to his birth, and it is the theft of Apollo's cattle. Just a few hours after his birth, Hermes slipped out of his cradle and embarked on his first adventure. He came across a tortoise, killed it, and created the first lyre by stretching sheep gut strings over the tortoise shell. But this was just the beginning of his little expedition. Hermes next went and stole Apollo's sacred cattle. He ventured to Pieria, where Apollo's cattle were grazing, and stole 50 of them. He was meticulous and devised a clever trick to cover his tracks. He crafted a pair of sandals from tree bark that allowed him to walk backward, making it appear as though he was walking in the opposite direction. This kid's only a couple hours old. Yeah, gods are funny. He also drove the cattle backward to further confuse anyone who might follow his trail. Along the way, he invented several items, including fire sticks to start a fire, and roasted 2 of the stolen cows as offerings to the gods. Of course, Apollo went after him. When Apollo discovered his cattle were missing, he used a prophetic power to track down the thief. The trail led him to Hermes, who was back in his cradle, seemingly innocent. Apollo confronted Maia, who denied any wrongdoing, but Zeus intervened and ordered Hermes to return the cattle. I wonder where he was keeping them this whole time. Like, where was he hiding them? I hope we don't have a child this clever when we do start having children. Hermes, realizing he could not defy Zeus, confessed to the theft and led Apollo to the hidden cattle. To appease Apollo, Hermes gifted him the lyre he had created. Apollo was enchanted by the instrument and in exchange granted Hermes the Caduceus, the staff with the 2 entwined serpents, which became a symbol of his role as a messenger and a herald. This myth highlights Hermes' ingenuity, charm, and his ability to navigate tricky situations with ease. The story also makes the beginning of Hermes and Apollo's enduring friendship, forged through mutual respect and shared gifts. So they became BFFs. All relationships need to start somewhere. Don't steal things. If you want to make friends with someone, just say hi. All right, our next story is the slaying of Argus Panoptes. So Argus Panoptes was a giant with 100 eyes. Not sure how they all fit on his face, but some were always awake and watchful. This made him exceptionally vigilant and a really good guardian. Hera, Zeus's wife, appointed Argus to watch over Lo, a priestess of Hera whom Zeus had transformed into a cow to hide her from Hera's jealousy. Hera ordered Argus to keep a close watch and to make sure that Lo would not escape or be rescued by Zeus. Seeing Lo's suffering, Zeus was distressed and decided to send Hermes to free her. At least Zeus seemed to have some kind of affection for the women he, had interludes with. Whatever. The plan. So Hermes, he was known for his cleverness and resourcefulness, and so devised a plan to put Argus to sleep and rescue Lo. Disguising himself as a shepherd, Hermes approached Argus and began to play soothing music on his lyre. He also told Argus enchanting stories to entertain and tire him out, just like you would a little child. Just a quick side quest here. I used to help put my niece to sleep, and we would always tell her a story and then sing her songs. And there was this one time where she was just ready for bed. And so we were reading the story and she just put her hand on it and pushed it down. That's when you know a child who enjoys story time before bed is ready to go to sleep. So Hermes' plan was gradually to lull Argus to sleep, and one by one his little eyes closed until finally all of them were shut. With Argus completely asleep, Hermes seized the moment and swiftly unalived him. Didn't just take Lo and, escaped. He decided that it was worth unaliving this guy. But he fulfilled Zeus's command. And whether Zeus commanded him to unalive this guy or just get Lo, I don't know. But Argus was dead, and so Hermes, he freed Lo from her captivity. As a result, Hera was furious, but she decided to honor Argus's dedication by placing his 100 eyes on the tail of her sacred bird, which is why the peacock has all of those eyes on its tail. And so, of course, this myth just highlights Hermes' strategic mind and his ability to handle delicate situations with grace and wit. His mission was successful, and he rescued Lo, which also underscores his role as a protector and mediator among the gods, because Hera didn't go after him. Our next story, the invention of the alphabet. Did you know Hermes invented the alphabet? And you know it's funny, because for the longest time, my only knowledge and introduction to Hermes was the Hermes in Disney's Hercules. The little John Leto purple glasses, the lanky blue body. I don't feel like he was done justice. He was amusing and fun, and it was, I guess, a good look for a Disney movie, but he's a far more interesting and exciting character than they had time to give him credit for. Hermes, as the god of communication and commerce, was always on the lookout for ways to innovate and improve the way the world worked. His natural curiosity and resourcefulness drove him to invent many things, including the alphabet. According to the myth, Hermes observed the need for a more sophisticated system of communication among gods and humans. Spoken language was powerful, but it lacked a permanent record. Inspired by the patterns he saw in nature and the rhythm of sounds, Hermes devised a system of symbols that could represent different sounds, words, and ideas. Hermes carefully crafted these symbols, assigning each one a specific sound. This system became the foundation of writing, allowing people to record their thoughts, stories, and transactions. Not transactions as in the bad things they did, but exchanges, like with, you buy things and whatever. His invention of the alphabet revolutionized communication, making it possible to document knowledge and pass it down through generations, so things didn't have to be word of mouth anymore. Once he perfected the alphabet, Hermes shared his invention with the gods and humans. The newfound ability to write transformed various aspects of life, from literature and education to commerce and governance. Hermes contributes. I hope you understood that. Hermes' contribution laid the groundwork for the development of written language across the world. And obviously this had a huge impact. I'm a writer, so yeah, I need the alphabet. The invention of the alphabet had a profound impact on Greek culture and beyond. It enabled the recording of myths, historical events, and philosophical ideas, preserving them for future generations. Hermes' gift of writing also facilitated the spread of knowledge, fostering intellectual growth and cultural exchange. This myth underscores Hermes' role as a god of communication and his contribution to human civilization. His invention of the alphabet exemplifies his ingenuity and his desire to improve the world through innovative ideas. And that is all we have. This is, probably as long as the Persephone video, but we also got some stories that were not just about her whole thing. Hermes is very interesting, and I'm a little sad there's not more about him, but tell me what you think. Did you just think of Hermes like I did for the longest time as just the blue man with little purple sunglasses and just a messenger? Because I didn't know actually until I was doing research for this that he was also the god of thievery and mischief. Like that's his real thing, and he just also happens to be a messenger and all those other things. So let me know if you knew this, all these other factors of him, if you have any stories that I didn't find or get to, and let me know what you thought. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Please be kind. We need more of it in the world, and all the little bit of pixie dust we can muster will help. So I hope you guys had fun. This character, or I shouldn't call them characters, this god of the Greek pantheon was a lot of fun for me to delve into, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Next time, we're jumping into Celtic mythology. Let me see, who do I have? Our next god is Dagda. And that's an interesting one, especially since the Celtic gods often have a little prefix of the before their name. Not all of them, but Dagda is one of them. So it's the Dagda. But we'll be talking about them next time. I hope that you are excited for Celtic mythology. I know it's not one of the more popular pantheons, but I find it fascinating. And I've mentioned my husband and I are going out of the country, and we're going to Scotland and Ireland. So this is actually really good timing. I'm really excited about it, and I hope you are too. And I'll see you next time. Bye.